Hi. Today we will be answering about some of your question. It's related to connection and site. In my case, let me show you. I go operation, site, and connection, and you will see that I have two sites. Okay, I mean they're not communicating. Let's go. If I go in operation controller, you will be the site better. So yes, I have two sites, one called building one called building two, very simple. And I have connection in each site. Okay. Now your question is that in case you create a site by mistake and the site was not added to the, no, sorry, in case you created the connection and by mistake it was not added to the proper site, how can you, reorganize that? I'm going to do it here. I go devices connection and I call it, let's say, floor 3. Okay. That asking me if I want to include in the connection in this side. I say no. Remember, this is not how to do it. So in case that what happened, so now let's see again. So I have site 1, site 2, and I have a connection outside of the site. These connection don't belong to any of those sites. Okay, now what's the consequences of that? Because there are consequences of having a connection outside of the site. One of the consequences is that since the access level is by site, the door I have on that new connection, I will have to create new access level and everything else so I can assign to the user. But if that new connection is added to an existing site, I will just have to update those access level accordingly. This is one of multiple example. Now, let's get back to the topic. Now I do have connection and I have site, of course, but I have one connection that I have and it's not in the proper location. So if I go here, you see I have floor 3 and it's directly under the gateway. It's not right under the site. Now, let's say that floor 3 should have been added to the site called building 1. How can I fix that? Which means how can I relocate that connection and make it, go on the proper site, which is building 1 in my situation. Okay, very simple in reality. I go to operation, devices, site, sorry. I'm going to select building 1 because that's where I want to have that new connection that I just created, or maybe an existing connection, but it wasn't at the proper place. Now I'm gonna go to the tab called Merge Existing Connection. And I guess that you know what connection I'm gonna see there. Even that I have 3 connections, but there is only 1 connection outside. Okay, and that's floor 3. Now I make the selection and I save, and it's asking me, letting me know it's going to merge the identical schedule, going to add, making sure it's showing me the access level name. So there is a merging being done. Okay, it's moving that connection under that site where it should have been created in the first place. Now, if I go operation controller, for example, if I go building one, I have the connection that I had already, and I have the other connection that I just created. Now, maybe you ask why there is no controller. It's because I just created the connection. I didn't set any controller yet. Okay. Now, there is a downside to that one. And it's very important to have it clear for you, is that while I can move a connection outside of those site and move it, we locate that connection under a specific site, I cannot do the opposite, which means if a connection was created on the site, it will stay there because there is no way to move it, to relocate it. For example, let's say I want to move that connection from this side and move it to go on the another side. That cannot be done. So it's one thing to have your site, right, created and there and have a connection that you want to move on that site. Yes, this one is possible, but the other way, it's not. So please make sure before you move a connection on the site, making sure that this is the correct site, this is the correct move for you to do. Okay? All right, I think, I hope it's clear. So the question was, if we have a connection created outside of a site, can it be moved afterward? Yes, it can be moved, relocate from under the gateway to the site you want to relocate that. Remember, once you have done that, the connection stay there. Okay, I think that I hope it's clear. Thank you.